In our last lesson, we wrote this HTML, and in this lesson, we are going to apply a style to it. Okay, so if we go into our HTML, we could add a link to a style sheet, and this would be table.css. And within our CSS folder, we'll create a new file and we'll save that as table.css. So the first thing we want to target is body. So we set the font family for body to Arial. And if we save this and we come over here and reset, we could see that our CSS was applied. So we could go ahead and target some other elements. So for example, if we say go into table and find the first child as a caption, I want to send the font weight of that to bold. And we also want to set the size to 20 pixels. And then we want to push everything down by 10 pixels. Okay, so let's see if that's worked. So we can see everything looks just as we want it to. And now we want to target our table dimension and our table head. So we do that like this with a comma. Okay, so we want to say border is 1 pixel and the color is black and it's solid. Okay, so the idea is to remove the border that we have in the HTML. So if we reset, we can see we have a border around it now. Okay, so we can carry on styling. One more thing we could say here, we could add a padding to this so everything is not too bunched up together. So there we go, we have a padding around our TH and our TDs. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is target our table, and we want to give a border collapse on our table. And if we come in here and reset, we can see the border has collapsed and it has a single line drawn around it. And we want to set the margin to auto so everything is centered. So let's see what we have. Okay, so if we compare, we can see it's slowly getting there. So what we could do now is make a new class. We'll call this total label. So this will target the label for our table. And we want to set text align it to the right. So in our HTML, we create a new class like this, and we could then say total label. Okay, so if we save this, reset, we could see the total has moved. It's now aligned to the right. Okay, and after that we can make another class and call this total, and we could say font weight is bold, and we can also change the color. We could make it green. Okay, so if we come here and reset, nothing happens. Okay, that's because we haven't attached it. So if we go into our HTML, and we could create a new class, and then we can say total and save this and reset our new page, and voila, we can see it's green, it's bold, and all is good. So another thing we could do is set alt. So this is to alternate the background color of our table rows. So we'll make this a grayish color. So we could attach this to any of our rows. I'll add this to the middle one like this and alt. Okay, so if we reset, you can see everything looks exactly as the table we are copying. So that's how you create a table. This concludes this section of introductory HTML and CSS. In the next lessons coming up, we'll look at Bootstrap, and we could see how we could target all elements using Bootstrap. Okay, so that's the end of this lesson. I'll see you in the next lesson.